Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me move my microphone a bit. Hopefully you can all see me and hear me okay. Hello and welcome to Wednesday Workbench Live. With me, Colin's taken another week off this week. He's just chilling and getting himself back up to full capacity. So big hugs to you, Colin. He'll be back with us, I think, next week. We're back to normal. So yes, so it's back with me again this week. And this week I'm continuing to build my Plagueburst Crawler, which is that puppy there from Games Workshop, Warhammer 40,000. In stock now at eModels.co.uk. So I'm going to be carrying on building this. We didn't get very far last week. We put a few bits together and that's about it. Before we get going, though, this is, of course, a show for eModels.co.uk, your one-stop shop. I don't know what this means. Your one-stop shop for all your model making needs, all of them, every single one, all of them. So please keep it nice and friendly and family-friendly in the chat, of course, and please do not discuss other model retailers in the chat, because that's not cool. That wouldn't be cool at all. But other than that, don't forget, of course, if you're watching this embedded in Facebook or Twitter or anything else, I've got the chat in front of me. So if you want to come and join in and have a bit of an interactive hour, then do come and join the live chat. Click the YouTube icon in the bottom lower right-hand corner of the video. That'll take you to YouTube where you can carry on watching and join the live chat. And if you want to get my attention, put your comment in big fat capital letters or just do @GuruFoxx, GURUFOXX, and put the @ at the start so it puts it in an orange box and have a chance to see your comment then. We'll do my best to read the comments, but of course I'm going to be busy building. Let's have a quick look and see what we've got in chat. Just a few at the moment. Not people are starting to come in. We've got David JM and Paul Christopher both in. Evening, folks, and evening, fellow modelers. Hello to both of you. Big hugs. Drim Builder's in. Hey, Fox and chat. I guess you finished your stream. You like your nice long streams, don't you, dude? So big hugs to you. Jeff is in. Candy Graham for Mongo. Has to be done. He is, of course, our resident Carl Sagan. So I shall simply say, it seems to me what is called for is an exquisite balance between two conflicting needs. The most sceptical scrutiny of all hypotheses that are served up to us, and at the same time, a great openness to new ideas. There you go, that's our little Carl Sagan quote for Jeff, because he's our resident. If you've ever heard his voice, he's our resident Carl. Although, I think he's more of a drive time American radio DJ, you know. Yeah, he's our resident Carl Sagan. So big hugs to you, Jeff. Dominic, excuse me, Jeff Light is in, says, good evening, Fox and everyone in chat. Welcome to you, Jeff. Big hugs. Dominique Cuckoo is in and says, good evening. Welcome to you, Dominique. Yes, so welcome to all of you in chat. I'm sure more people will join as we go along. We're only going to go for about an hour tonight. It's just me on my Todd. I'm just building this, so it's not going to be that exciting if I sit there and do 3-hour streams. Plus, I'm not really able to anymore at the moment, so we're going to crack on. So last week we got to about 4 steps in, so we didn't get very far last week. But you know me, I like to take my time. So we shall crack on today. And before we get going, of course, I have to ask the important question, Bench and Belly. What's on your bench? What are you working on right now? Doesn't need to be a model kit. It could be a drawing or anything creative at all. Part work. You could be building a shelf, sculpting a figure. You could be doing anything. What are you doing on your bench right now? And what's in your belly? What have you had for your dinner, or what are you going to have for your dinner? I haven't had any dinner yet, so I'm starving. So I don't know what I'm going to have. But yes, we shall crack on. So I shall crack on building. Please feel free to ask me lots of questions in chat, because Lord knows I'll need something to talk about, and you're going to give me the things to talk about. So use your typing skills to ask me questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if I don't know the answer to something, I'll just make something up. I'll just completely make it up at whole cloth and sound awesome and like I know what I'm doing. I don't sound like I know what I'm doing, but never mind. So let's crack on. Yeah, so this is the Plagueburst Crawler, a Death Guard vehicle for Warhammer 40,000. Even if you don't play the tabletop game, they do some fantastic models, so it's worth having a look. It is available in stock right now at eModels. Right, so we need to do part number 21 and 23, first of all. We're building the idler and the... what are they called on a tank? The idler wheel and the drive wheel, I think it is, isn't it? I think. 21 and 23, I think. Ow. Stabbing myself with my nippers. That's always a good start. 21 and 23. So I'll get 21 off. Yeah, we'll just go for an hour tonight. Don't need to do a big long show. 21 and 23. Anyway, how have you all been, folks? How's your week going so far? It's hump of the week, middle of the week time. We're all bimbling along nicely this week. So how's your week going? I trust you're all well. I'll get my little sanding mat out. Look, wound already, and I've not even started building yet. I turned my nippers round and I nipped myself. Curses, curses, I say. Thankfully, it's a minor flesh wound, so we'll live. Edward Leonard is in. Squishy alert. Edward Leonard, king of the squishies, king of the jellies. Jim Builder says he's building bricks, slow-cooked tenderloin stew with rice and carbonated adul whatever. I'm not sure what the last bit means. It's bleeding now. It's bleeding now. Oh, carbonated. There, or carbonated cold water. There you go. Edward Leonard says howdy to everyone and everyone in chat. Welcome, Edward. I trust you are well. We've done bench and belly. Now, this week, I will try... I noticed that last week, the logo in the top right there, which of course is eModels, was massive and kind of covered up half of the stuff I was doing, so I made sure to shrink it down a bit. I think it's because it's an overlay that I set up pages ago and never actually got to test it. So, yeah, so I've shrunk that down a bit. I'll try and stick to being in the centre. I was also working up in the corner here for some reason last week, so I'm an idiot. In fact, I'm not going to put that down because it means I can't see where the middle is. We'll just work on the bench. There you go. You think live streaming is easy, it's not. I trust you can all hear and see me okay, by the way. Hopefully you can. So, yeah, Colin's just taken, as a lot of you will already know, Colin's just taken some time out to just rest up. So, because, you know, it's a lot of effort doing things like live streams and content all the time. So he's just taken a couple of weeks to recharge his batteries. And hopefully we'll be back to regular schedule, on eModel schedule next week, next Wednesday. Hopefully. We'll carry on with our Bane Blade. Bane Blades. It is the Bane Blade. Yes. Because you can't go wrong building a Bane Blade. Well, I mean, you can, but you'd have to be very special to really go wrong. You have to put a lot of effort into it. Now, I'm sitting here getting rid of the mould line between these teeth in this wheel, but I don't need to, because it's going to have a piece of track over it. I don't know why I'm doing that. Shut up, Fox. Why are you doing that? Special. Although, well, actually, well, no, because some of it might be, yeah, some of it might be visible, so, because it might be where the track is not flush against the surface. I'm just using the scribing tool just to get rid of that little mould line that goes down between the teeths. I'll use the file to clean up the edge of the teeths. Water and sawing up a $400 Bandai Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon, says Edwin. Why are you sawing it up? What are you doing to the poor thing? What do you need to do that requires sawing? That's unusual. I need my little file. My very fat file, which is probably a bit too fat for this job, but never mind. Now, the beauty of doing Death Guard vehicles is that, of course, Death Guard are just the forces of Nurgle. Of course, Nurgle is the god of plague and pestilence and disease. So it doesn't matter if you're a bit heavy-handed with the sanding or the cutters or anything like that, because when I eventually get round to painting this and all the rest of the Death Guard stuff that I've got in my built box, I'm going to make sure it's covered in rust and pustules and streaks and grime and corrosion and just horrible disease-looking stuff. That's the beauty of Death Guard. If you're really into your weathering and you want to do some really messy stuff, and I need to get another sanding sponge, hang on. You want to do some really messy stuff, go for Death Guard. Even the Space Marines are made of disease and filth. All right, where's me big sponge? I've only got my little sponge. Okay, I'll use my little sponge then. So yeah, if you like doing lots of weathering and rust and corrosion and stuff, Death Guard are always the way to go. I'm going to enjoy painting the Death Guard Space Marines because they're the same principle. They're all horrible and decrepit. Putting photo etch in the cockpit, says Edward. Oh, right, okay. Ah, yes, okay, yes, that makes sense then. Yeah, taking all the details off. I decided not to go that route because I was doing the vanilla build from the box, you see, so I think I did. I don't remember. I think I didn't do that. So I'll just get these wheels nice and clean and then attach them to the relevant location, which is The front is there. And the rear is here. The rear is here. There you go. And of course, I've made sure that none of these line up because I know some people that will trigger all kinds of real OCDs and little eye twitches. So of course, I made sure to not have any of them lined up in any way, shape or form because of course I didn't. Where's the fun in doing it correctly? It's nonsense. Let's get the regular cement first of all. Yes, hope you're all well. Hope you're all having a good week so far. Nothing really much to report. No news or anything to talk about, I'm afraid. Been going on in my part of the world. I did finish my Dodge Charger part work, which is sitting on the shelf just above me. You might have seen it behind me on the Monday show. It's done. It's all finished. I just need to put a coat of wax on it. You don't have to put a coat of wax on it, but I'm a former detailer. I used to do detailing, so I want it to be protected and look really nice. The thing with the Dodge is it's not got any clear coat. It's metal with glossy lacquer paint sprayed on it, which actually looks really good. Well, it looks all right. Close up, you can see a few like sort of little rough patches and imperfections in the paint, but it's not terrible. Now, if somebody was savvy, what they could do is get all the parts of the part work, all 110 issues, and then basically clear coat all the body panels with a proper clear coat, like lacquer, and then they could polish it and properly machine polish it and stuff. But I didn't do that, obviously. So all I can really do is just gussy it up a bit, stick a coat of wax on it, and that's about all I've got able to do with it, which is what I shall do. So I need to get that done. Right, next ones. Get the other side done. Tomorrow I'm going to be catching up and finishing hopefully my Iron Man part work. It's a lot of part work stuff at the minute for me. I've just got to get them all finished so I can crack on with proper building stuff. Get my Iron Man part work finished. Catch up with that. Then once I've done that, next week I need to finish for once and for all the X-Wing that I never got around to finishing. And once I've done that, I can get cracking on with proper painting videos again. Because that's what I do and what I've not done for a long time, and that's what I need to get back to doing. Waiting for that Bane blade, says Dream Builder. Yes. Hopefully next week we'll be back to it. So, Bane blade, talking about my Bane blade. What else has been going on? I'm up to season 8, I think, in Supernatural, which I am absolutely loving. First season, terrible. After that, absolutely fantastic stuff. Love it. I love Supernatural so much. I'd never watched it before, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot there's like 1,000 episodes of that. Let's give it a go. I fell in love after season 1. You have to slog it through season 1, but then once you're on the other side, it's fine. Spiddy just finished his Iron Man, says Edward Leonard. Yes. Now, the thing with the Iron Man part work is you do get like 3 different hips to have 3 different poses. And you also get like 20 odd issues of weathered armor, which is all like got paint chips and stuff on it if you want to have this sort of weathered Iron Man armor look. It actually looks really good. The weathering on it looks really good, actually. But I'm not going to bother filming that. I'm not going to bother putting it on, and I'm not going to bother filming the extra hips. Because at the end of the day, once I've built it, it's just going to sit on a shelf. So I'll choose the hips that I like, which is probably going to be the standing up straight hip, because the hips don't, the poses for it, the default poses, they're not that great. So I'll choose a hip set that I like, and I build it in that pose, and I'll just show the weathered armor and say, there you go, it's the extra bit if you want to see that. But I'm not going to, because it just means you've got to take all the armor off again and replace it with the weather stuff. And I don't know if it's complete, the whole armor, or if it's just bits of the armor, which wouldn't make any sense. But I'm not gonna fuss with that. I'll make people aware of it, but I won't actually show it. There's not a lot left to do on the Iron Man for me. I will admit, and I've said it before, you know, I've not hidden from it. My mojo for that build actually kind of faded towards the end of it. It's like, it's really nice and it's good, but it's like, I lost the enthusiasm for it. I'll be perfectly honest. So I'm keen to get it off and done. Then I can focus. On my GT40 and my DeLorean. You know, in part work terms. Obviously, I've got other stuff to do as well. And then once I've got a load of stuff filmed for my channel and stuff, you know, painting guides and things, I can get onto another build for eModels, because I haven't done I haven't done a painting series for them for ages, and I was started through filming the Imperial Knight Canis Rex, and I need to get that done because, you know, I need to. So I'll have to get back. And painting knights is fairly simple and easy, so I'll have to get back. I did some beautiful metallic work on it as well that I filmed and I haven't shown you. I did some wonderful metallic work on that, even if I do say so myself. So I'm keen to get that done. Don't put the white lid on the green pot, Fox. That's not how it works. I'm probably building off on the corner again, aren't I? Yes. How's the video and audio, folks? I hope it's all right for you, by the way. Hope it's all looking and sounding good. Talking about my pain blade. Right, so that's all the little tiny wheels on. Wheels. After what I saw, I wouldn't even waste my time building the extra hips. He couldn't pose it into anything, says Edward. Yeah, I've seen the other poses, and they're just like, they're kind of supposed to be like a superhero landing pose, which doesn't really work. And a sort of weird turning sideways pose, which looks like he just pulled a muscle and he's going, oh me sciatica. So I'm like, I'll just have the standing up. But in all the photographs, they have the standing up thing with the feet straight like that and the arms by the side. I'll try and give it at least a bit of a interesting pose. I don't know how much flexibility you get in those hips, so I won't just have them stood there straight like in all the photographs, because that's so lifeless. AV, all good, says Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Agreed, says Drim. The first season was really bad of Super. Yeah, it was. They hadn't found the characters, but now season 8. I mean, I absolutely adore the whole series. It's just the best thing I've ever seen. One of the best things. Really love it. Right, next step. We've got little wheels on. Now, there's no figures with this because you don't get a driver in Chaos vehicles. In Chaos vehicles like this, which is basically a rolling mortar tank, there's no driver. It's got a demon in it that controls. It's got a demon in it. I don't know what the phrase is. It's basically powered by a demon. I mean, it might have a driver. In some Chaos vehicles, and especially Death Guard, there are sometimes, or in Chaos vehicles, there are like people that drive or crew the vehicles, like rhinos and stuff, but the demon spirit that lives within the vehicle that powers it can actually just then take them over and make them part of the vehicle, and then they get corrupted. But it's all really weird and gross. Right. Now we have some traculations to build, and this is where we need to pay attention, because the tracks in this kit are supposed to face a certain way. And if I remember rightly, there was an issue where they didn't work properly. So we'll have to pay attention to what we're doing now. 26, 27, 28, and 29. So stay tuned. We'll find out in a minute. I can't quite remember because I built one of these before. I can't quite remember. But there was something with the tracks facing the wrong way. 26, 27, 28, and 29. So 26. Now, these are classic Games Workshop tracks. They're just like multi-part tracks. They're not individual link tracks, but they're sort of static tracks made out of several sections. 28 and 29. There's 28. They're really easy to do, a bit like you get with the Lehman Russ and the Rhinos. They're really easy to do. Not quite as complex as, say, the Baneblade ones, where you've got lots of links, but they're dead simple. You can't really go wrong with these. 26, 27... 28 and 29. 26 is... Where's 26? Ah, this may be the problem. They may have misnumbered one part. I can't... Oh, no, 26. 27, there we go. I've got 26 off. It's me not paying attention. 26, 27, 28 and 29. I should put the camera further away, really, shouldn't I? 28, 26, 27, 28, 29. There's 29. Doopy. 26, 27, 28, and 29. Now, the way it's supposed to work is, I'm going to clean these up in a second. Basically, there's a little notch there. You can see on that little wheel there, a little notch. And there's a tooth there on the track, and that locks into that, so you can see where it's supposed to. That tells you that bit goes there. Now, the thing with these tracks is they are supposed to face... I've got to think in 3 dimensions now. They're supposed to face basically that way, with the pointy bits pointing towards the ram at the front, which means that way would be that way. But then the problem there is that doesn't line up, because if you use that hole and that key on that side, yeah, it gets tricky, you see. This is suggesting that sits there like that. Where's the tooth and peg gone? It is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it is. No, it isn't. Right, that's line. That's the peg in the hole. Now it suggests that this piece here, 26, should be with the thin bits at the bottom, because again you have the thin point, the pointy part of the tread of the grip going towards the front. There's a name for the things on tank tracks, but I can't remember what they're called. However, if I put that on there, it fits perfectly, except it doesn't, because you've got this problem here. That doesn't work. And I think what I had to do last time was actually switch these round to the other tracks, to the other side, because if you put it on the other side, it fits perfectly, because then you've got the teeth pointing that way, and that makes sense. So what I'm going to do, this is, I knew there was something wrong with the tracks, but I couldn't quite remember. So that's 26, it says. And on this side, it says 34. I think what they've done is they've got them the wrong way around. So if I get part 34, I'll do lots of dry fitting before I confirm to this. This is why I'm doing this dry fitting now. So if you are going to build one of these, do keep this in mind. Otherwise, you'll suddenly find, if you just go off the numbers, that A, it doesn't fit, and B, the tracks don't line up, the tread doesn't work. Now, if I take part 34, again, we're on this side, and I look at where the little key is there, little key's there, so I put it on there, like that, key into the hole, kaplunk. Then we take part 26, that goes like that, you've got the slot there, and the bit sticking out, look, it's the right way around. So that's what they've done. They've basically gotten the numbers the wrong way around. And they've actually got it wrong on the sprue as well, because this is 26, 27, 28, and 29 from this side of the sprue here. This is the other side, and that's where I've just taken 34 from. Basically, this piece should be there, and that piece should be there, and they've got them numbered the wrong way around. So when you build this, just be aware that you need to, instead of taking this piece for that left track, you have to use this one. I'm going to double check that, so don't take it just as read just yet. I should do a test dry fit. So that's on there. That goes like that. And then 28 is the 2-piece one that goes there. You can see again, 28 carries on the tread with the pointy bits at the top, and then 20. Oh no, that's yep. Hang on a minute, I got that wrong. Yes, that was the bit that goes on there, and then 29's on the back. Again, that carries that on. So yes, that does seem to be the wrong way around. Now we'll have to double check it when we get to the bottom bits of track as well. So do keep that in mind if you build it. It's funny how it's both. It's kind of a printing error, but they could easily fix it by just swapping these two numbers around, 27 and 34. Even though that means you're taking all the track from this side, but then that piece instead of that piece. Yeah, it's very weird. Right, let's get these cleaned up. Where are we? Graham McRobertson, I'm having a fight with the carpet monster. Oh, if you've not been feeding, you have to feed it at least one little bit of plastic every week. A little bit of sprue keeps it happy. They have some humanoid in them that's corrupted, says Grim Builder. Yes, they do. I can't remember if there is one in this one, but there's often in these vehicles, there's often like a driver or a commander, especially in like tanks and Lehman Russes and stuff, that has then been corrupted, and eventually the demon spirit will just absorb the driver into the vehicle, because these end up ruptured with tentacles and things all over them. So it's all gross and disgusting and absolutely fantastically wonderful. Right, so there's not a lot to do on these tracks. They're not like a Baneblade track. So all we need to do is, first of all, get rid of the dirty grey nub, make sure I'm on camera. Get rid of the dirty grey knob there. Dirty grey knob. Dirty grey knob. Remember, folks, if you're new at model making, ideally you should cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. I've been doing it for so long that I've got an almost foolproof method of doing it towards myself. I can't actually do it that way. I just can't cut that way at all. And for the most part, I tend not to stab myself much. But do be careful. I usually anchor my thumbs against each other, but sometimes it fails. Sometimes. Usually on camera. Pretty much on camera all the time. I'll put all these bits. Nubbage. Edward, was it you that built the alien spaceship hovering above the cow? Says Graham. Yes, it was. It's awesome, that. Alien spaceship plus greys plus cow. Obligatory cow. Makes it correct. Wonderfully lit as well. Very well done, that, Edward. Most impressive. Now, there's a lot. You could not bother doing a lot of cleanup on these tracks, because at the end of the day, these tracks are going to be covered in mud and dirt. And of course, being chaos, they'll be heavily corroded and stuff anyway. So you don't have to bust a gut, get rid of all the bits and bobs, but you should, at the very least, get rid of the nubs. Like I'm going to scrape away the mould line, but you don't have to. If you just want to do a quick build, you can just leave that. It's not the end of the world. That's that done. I shall scrape off the moulding line. Talking about my mould line. Now, unlike the Bane blade, all the little track pins are recessed, so it actually is a little bit more fiddly. Let's do it with a sanding stick instead, it'll be faster. Maybe faster. Let's do it with a file instead, that'll be a lot faster. Just a mould line that goes right down the middle of the track. So if we just very quickly zizz that off with a file. I was going to use the mould line scraper, but it'll probably take a lot longer if I do that. Let's just zizz it with a file. We're just zizzing now. We'll get that bit done. Don't worry about too much about the recess bit, because that's where the tracks cover each other up. Now I will just have to use the knife blade to get the mould line off the track pin a little bit, because that is quite small. I can actually get a file in there. Oh no, I can do it with a file. There we go. And again, because these are tracks, even on a real tank, if these were, if you're doing on a normal real world tank, you can be a little rough and ready with them, because at the end of the day, these are dirty, great big steel things that get absolutely battered by the ground. So they're not going to be all smooth surface. So I like to get a bit heavy-handed with the cleanup of tracks, just to give them that naturally worn and slightly battered look. Even on a modern tank, it's always look rusty and worn. Imagine what your car rims would look like if you basically drove around on your rims and didn't have tyres. That's kind of what tank tracks look like. But this vehicle actually has lots of chips and dings in it anyway, so that one done. I was thinking you could have put some stretched cotton wool above the cow to look as though it was getting sucked up by the ship, says Graham McRobert. Ooh. Talking about my sucking up cows. Welcome to Cow Sucking Weekly. Let's just stop this conversation now, shall we? Now, I don't know if you'll hear it because I've got like limiters and compressors and noise gates on my microphone, but I think I said the other day, we've got a new blackbird in the garden outside. Because there's blackbirds that live in the tree and they get a new family every year because the babies grow up. And we had one once that was that in part of its song introduced the sound of our phone ring. We had a little hands-free phone, and it must have heard it a few times when Mama Wolf was out in the garden. So it started including the little chirp for the phone ringing in its song, which is really annoying when you sat out in the garden and you think the phone's ringing. That was many years ago. However, the one at the minute seems to have developed a little bit of a song that sounds exactly like Hawaii Five-0. So you've got this random blackbird song, which is just, very beautiful, very pretty to listen to. And then just in the middle of all its warbling and singing, it does, I'm not going to do it because of copyright, but it just suddenly blaps out a little bit of Hawaii Five-0, and you're like, oh, That's just ruined the immersion. I'm no longer tranquil. It's quite adorable. Right, so that's those bits cleaned. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to very quickly, and I'm not going to glue this on first, I'm going to literally put that there first. We'll get the other bits on. So it's 28 and 29, so I don't know which is which now, 28 and 29, which doesn't really matter because they look both the same anyway. That's, oh, you can tell because that one has the gap there. 28 goes there, and it has the tooth at the top. So what I can do is glue these in first, 28 and 29, and the others, I think. And then come back and put this big flat piece in afterward. 28. I know it's hard to keep this on camera, so I do apologise. 29, there we go. If I glue 28 in first, which just, it's not got a lot of contact points on the actual tank. Let's try. Is it the other one? Are they both the same? Oh no. Yep, there we go. All right, yeah, they are different. 26 and 28. 26 won't fit properly onto the wheels. 28 will, so be careful of that. I took them off the sprue and never really paid attention to which one was which. Hooray! So I shall glue 28 in first, because at least we know that piece is correct. Touch of glue there, and touch of glue down there. Do a little touch of glue there. I'll take that out just to make sure it doesn't stick. Oh, no. That wasn't as stuck as I thought it was. Hang on. Let's try that again. Moving now. Right, you sit there for a second then. Don't go anywhere. Don't go nowhere, no out, no nothing neither. Right, then we can do 26 on the other end, which should be like that. Again, the points of contacts are quite minimal. So, just actually very minimal. Very minimal. Minimal. Touch of glue there. And a little touch there. It barely touches that wheel. What I should be able to do in a second, when this has dried a bit, is pop this middle piece out just to be safe before I make any absolute hard and fast commitments. That's just really getting these other bits in place, so I know they're in place now. I can slap the glue all over them. And this one isn't wanting to sit very well at all. There we go, that's better. No, it's not. Most bizarre. This one is being most difficult, to quote Bingo. Being difficult. Okay. Right, so that's those two in. Let's leave it there for a second. We have piece number 29, which sits on top of that. Like that. That can be glued in. I can be quite handy with the glue here because, again, they're going to be rusted up and covered in dirt and crud and crap, so it does need matter too much. And then we'll put that there for a second. I'll leave that piece of track here. I'll leave it on. I just don't want it to stick in place because I don't have to suddenly remove it at the last minute. That would be not awesome. We'll keep it there so it acts as a spacer. Right. So we'll quickly see what the other track parts are. 24, 25 and 30. Okay, so 24, 25 and 30 on the assumption that some of these might not be correct. Let's quickly get these off. So you can see we're on this side again. 30. 30. Oops, knocking the camera. There we go. Yay! Where's the middle? There's the middle. 24, 25 and 30. How's the frame rate, guys? Is it nice and smooth? Is the picture nice and clear for you? Hopefully. I'm working in 1080p and streaming in 1440, so it should be a nice clear picture for you. And what did I say? No, 24. So what we should have is 24. You've got the little sticky out bit there. 24 should go on here like that. Oops. Kaplunk. And then you've got 25 and 30, which should be on the front like that. So 25 sit there like that ish, and 30 sit like that. Make them fit better in. So again, you have the teeth with the pointy bit at the bottom, the flat bit at the top, and they go round that way, they follow that way, and then they come all the way up at the top. So that should hopefully mean that when we do the other side, this one with the key on that side will also match, because now you see that matches it. So it's just, if you just go off the fact it's numbered wrong in the instructions and the numbers are the wrong way around. It's wrong on the sprue as well, but both pieces are correct. They're just in the wrong place and numbered wrongly. It's just wrong. Everything's wrong. Right, so let's get these cleaned up. What's chat doing? Oh, it's nice, good picture, says Drim. Thank you very much. Dudley Scale Model Cars is in. Welcome, Dudley. Welcome to you, buddy. La, la, la. Edward says he did try thinking of putting the cow on a clear rod, but didn't like the way it looked. Yeah, the clear rod is kind of handy, but you always have to do the suspension of disbelief that it's actually floating in the air. I was going to do one of my Orc vehicles, like jumping off a rock, so it'd be kind of in midair. But I'd have to obviously make a little cloud of dust, and there'd have to be a clear rod holding it in place, so I'd have to use the dust to kind of hide it. And I was like, yeah, it's not really working. Yeah, it just looked like a car on a clear rod. There's always ways to do these things, though. You could have built some like electromagnets into the base of the cow and have the cow just floating miraculously above the base of the... Yeah, I've seen somebody actually build an Eldar floating Eldar vehicle. We're still on Warhammer again, but an Eldar tank that floats just above the base on electromagnets. And it's really good, apart from eventually it does kind of go fall off. But it still looks good. For at least, the first 20 minutes it floats on its base by magicalness. Either that or the builder actually invented a repulsor drive of some sort, which I highly doubt. I shall be back in 1 second, folks. 1 second. It won't be 2 minutes. Sorry about that. I had to clear one's throat. Very noisy. You don't want to listen to that nonsense. Dee 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 dee. Get all this scrubbiness. Yeah, so once I'm back into my proper building schedule, where I'm actually, because as you know, strangely enough, both Colin and I have done the same thing, which for different reasons, but I've had to pull back on the live streaming just because it's not really practical at the minute for me to do lots of live streams. Just the way my life is at the minute, it's not practical. It's not easy for me to be able to dedicate either a specific time or a specific amount of time or a time during the day without, having to suddenly go away for 5 minutes every hour. So I pull back on the live streams a bit. And I'm hoping to get back into the routine of doing filming, and that's why I'm trying to get all these part works out of the way, all the backlog part works, so I can just get them done and dusted, and then I'm back to normal then. And at some point, I do need to get back to doing, obviously, my own videos, but videos for eModels as well. Now, the idea going forward is that, Ted and Colin and Chris, if he ever gets back to the building side of it, will do regular stuff, and I'll just take care of the Warhammer stuff. But I have to admit, when we did the eModels show on Monday and we're looking at their 1/16 tanks, I'm like, actually. Because if I ever had to do non-Warhammer stuff, say for this stream or something, because when I was doing this stream for this couple of weeks, just sort of keeping the seat warm for Cole, I didn't know what to build because the only thing I had in my stash that they had in stock was this. That's why I'm doing this, because it's the only thing I had that they also had in stock. So I'm like, because all their stuff is like, there's lots of Eldar things. I'm like, I've tower, and I'm like, I haven't got any of those things. So yeah, so but I thought, yeah, I could at some point. There's nothing stopping me saying like, you know, armor, tanks, and things, because that's no different to doing a Baneblade or a Warhammer build of some sort. So you never know. Going forward, I might. There's that temptation there that there could be potentially, if I had the time and resources, thing saying I couldn't do a 1/16 scale dirty great big tank, or massive big tank as we like to call them. MBT, massive big tank. Right, so these attached to the rail on the side there. Again, I'm not too fussed about all the little scratchy, scrabbly bits from the sanding and the filing, because when you put the glue on, you can get rid of what back here. You've got these little fluffy bits. There you go. The fluffy bits have gone away now. Can't see them anymore. But I'm being really generous with the glue because the tank tracks, you want them to be generously glued in place. Push that down a bit because it's a bit sticky up. There we go. And again, it is a chaos tank. It's not going to look perfect. That seems to be correct. Correct. Seems about right. And then the two on the front, which are 25 and 30. So it's 25 first of all, which is this one here, like that, you see. Lovely. So you can see that the tracks aren't that hard to do. These ones on this tank are a little nebulous because they kind of float above the wheels really, but on other tanks like the Lehman Russ and stuff, and I assume on the Rogaldorn, they're a bit less nebulous. They're a bit like on the Lehman Russes, you don't even see the drive wheels, so they just slot into place beautifully. And they're really easy to do. So that's that on that. Push that down. Just make sure the pointy bits all line up. Yes. When I did my first ever one of these, I didn't spot that track problem, and so I built it with all the teeth facing the wrong way on one of the tracks, and I realised I was just about in time and I had to rip it all apart again and fix it. I was like, oh, I managed to get it fixed, but it was still like, oh. So there we go, a bit of a blobbiness on the glue there, but we can give this a bit of a rough sand once it's all set. So I'm not going to glue that bottom piece in again yet. I'm just going to leave it on there for a second, just to be safe, just to make sure. So we'll put that off to one side. Put that there on that side so I know which. In fact, I will leave it on. Otherwise, I'll get it confused and I'll mess it up. I'll put that there. I'll put that there. And that's one side of the track done. So what I shall do is I shall quickly squash the track. There we go. Perfect, Foxx. You genius. I should just have left this on, shouldn't I? Right, let's put that back there. Let's put that there. You go there. When I nod my head, etc., etc. Make sure that fits in. Slide it down. There we go. Lovely. It looks a bit janky, but that's kind of the character of the tank. It's going to look janky. And this bit here, there's nothing to go here because it's covered up with a doohickey. So you have this gap anyway. Oh, actually. Aha, no, I have made a slight mistake. Even I can get it wrong. There's little gaps in there where these teeth need to go into, and that's what I've... Oh, no, I did put them in there. Oh, no, I did. I got it right. Yes. I thought I'd not done that, but I have. Take that off again. I thought for some reason I had not done that, but it does seem that I have. Little recesses there, you see, and the little teeth on the track that go in like that. Like that, even. Oh, no, wait. Aha. Hang on a minute. Ah. Okay, yeah, the numbers in the okay. This is what I remember now. I've just remembered it. You have these two recesses here, and two recesses there. These pieces of track, again, they're wrong. They don't fit. The little teeth on that side means it will be the wrong way around, and the little teeth on that side, there, little teeth, there, it doesn't match. So these are for that side. So, yes, I forgot about them too. So there you go. So I need instead the other two pieces, which would be 37 and 32, theoretically. Yes. 37 and 32. I'd forgotten about this completely. I just remembered there was an issue with the track. So there we go. That's why it wasn't fitting properly. 37 and 32. That's 37. We'll see if these fit. 37. Oops. And 32. So 37. Two holes in there. Teeth on that side. Click. That should go in like that. Except it doesn't. What is going on here? That fits. That's because it's the wrong place. That is, no, I've got that completely wrong. It's 30, what do I want? Oh no, 37 and 32. So 30, that's the piece has to come off there as well. So 37 is that one. Goes in there. And 32 is that one, which goes in there. There you go. So yes, be very careful. In fact, that piece of track's going to be wrong as well. In fact, all this track is completely wrong. Oh, dear Lord. Right, so let's just... That is all the wrong track. So, let's put all that track over there. I can simplify it by saying all the tracks on the left-hand side are supposed to be on the right-hand side. All the tracks on the right-hand side are supposed to be on the other side. Right, there we go. Oy, oy, oy. Right, so let's bring all those basic track back. So we've got those. They're still flexible, so we'll just quickly clean up this big bit. I don't know. Right. I don't know. Sitting here trying to promote all these wonderful kits. No, I knew there was an issue with this one. I just forgotten the extent of the bits. This is not indicative of Games Workshop quality. I should hasten to add. Thankfully, it's the tracks, which means all that garbledness that I've made now, trying to glue them on to take them off again, doesn't matter. Because again, rust, dirt, grime, mud, it's going to be fine. So not a problem at all. That's why I'm not even being gentle cleaning these up. See, it wouldn't be one of my streams if something didn't go awry somewhere. I didn't realise there were little notches and little tabs there. That's on me, in a way. But it's also on GW. I think what they need to do is basically reprint those instructions and just switch the numbers around. That'll be a lot easier. But they must haven't done that yet. Right, so we'll try that again, shall we? So that needs to be there. Like that. We'll literally put that one in. That sits there. But then that does face the wrong way. The teeth go the wrong way then. That goes there. They will match, but the teeth will face the wrong way. I think, which is weird. On that bottom bit. But then... Oi, oi, oi. Right, so, I don't know which bit's are which now. Oh. So 26 is double piece there, so that would be theoretically 26 would be there. No, it wouldn't. Yes, it would. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. It goes in there. 26, which is the wrong piece, but it's the right piece. Then there should be the 1 and the 2, so it should be that one. Like a glove. And then that one, which has got 2 blocks and 2 teeth, which goes there. So yeah, that works. So it does look like, it's been so long since I made my own, it does look like the actual pattern of the teeth is the wrong way round. The teeth have the flat bit at the bottom and the pointy bit at the top. That's what it was. But they are actually correct. There's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. And then you have that one there, which is this way around, which isn't that way around, which is not that way around, which should be. Okay, now I'm confused. Confused, I tell you. It's not that one. Okay, they are then not that bit. That's maybe that bit then. Nope. Okay, this has got me confuzzulated. It's all gone weird. Would be. That does fit, but then this bit is the wrong way around. Break these two out. That needs to be 2 and a 1er. Be okay, that one there. No, it wouldn't. It would be again. It wouldn't be that one. Ha la 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 la. Brain vexations. So if we let's put them apart. Very confusing now. So if that's that one that sits like that, then we need this to work. That would be then that would appear to be that piece there. Oh, would it? Yes, that fits in there. And then it's a 2 and a 1. So there's a 1, which would be that one, theoretically. And then a 2 with 1 block, which is that one. Oops. That's a 2 with 1 block. Okay, that makes sense. Then at this end, we have a 1. Oh, I missed a piece out, that's why. We have a 2 with 1 block. It's down to me. I missed a piece out. And then a 1. And then a 2 again. So 1. It's where they have the little square block on the track. That's the determining factor, you see. No, not that one. Not that one. It's that one, a 1, and then a 2, which would be that one. So that should then be the track unit for that side. So we can get these glued on. So it's that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Right. There we go. Figured it out. It does, like I say, it does mean that the track's pointing all the wrong directions, but it doesn't really matter. We'll get this thing glued on first. On the right side would be a good idea. On the wrong side. Glue on there. Apologies if I keep going off camera. I'm trying to use my brain, and it takes a lot of processing power for me to do braining. Braining is hard. Yes, I remember there was the issue with the tracks, but I can't remember quite what it was. Well, you see, this is all learning experiences for you. La 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 la. We're up to in chat. What are we building? Says Marcus. We are building the Games Workshop Plagueburst Crawler. Yes, with incorrectly numbered instructions. Yeah, which makes life very interesting because I have to figure it all out. So I'll put that on there. That goes there first. So we've got a tour. Goes in the back. That sits in there like that. Then we have the wanna, which I put somewhere. I put it somewhere. Where did I put it? I put it there. Oh, it's attached to that still. So then this piece goes here. Ping, ping, ping. I can be really messy with the glue. Doesn't actually matter. Just slap it on, like Ted would say. There we go. Now it fits perfectly. See? There we go. Slappy about glue gives the tracks a nice rough look to them, which is kind of what you want with Death Guard anyway. Get a bit of track in there. It does mean, like I say, that the track's point in the wrong direction, which does then make me wonder, on the actual studio model, how they had the tracks pointing in the right direction. Yes. Although, let's be honest, we haven't built the other side yet. It could all go horribly wrong. We could have tracks going in a different direction. At this point, I'll take whatever I can get. I'll take whatever I can get. So we'll do the front bit there. Front bit of track. Get this in. So there was me saying that their tracks are really easy to build. They are, when your parts are all numbered correctly and not wrong in the instructions. And then we've got the, what was it? A one and a two. It's like Lego, really. A one and a two and a dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. That goes in there. Click. And that one slots on there with those two tabs and teeth. Tabs and teeth. There we go. A little bit tidy up on that track part there where it glues mangled it around a bit where it was glued in place. Right, so that is one side done. So what I shall do before we call it a night is very quickly get the other bits of track off. Of course, ignoring all the numbers on them because it's completely irrelevant now what number track piece they are. And we'll see if these actually look right. Right, so theoretically, this should also fit the other way around, which it will. I think they'll both face the right way. They'll just face the wrong way, if that makes sense. So we've got bottom bit. We've got whatever the hell these are. I can't remember which bit's which now. Let's just sort them out. In fact, I'll just get them all off and we'll just figure out by where the little tabs are. I think that's the only way we can do this. By just seeing where the tabs are, that'll tell us, inform us exactly which bit needs to go where. So let's get these bits off. It is quite exciting, quite fun in a way. Challenging. Clearly they were channeling Airfix when they did these instructions. Or dare I say it's hilarious. Well, then again, you know, it's hilarious. Yeah, the instructions aren't that bad. Right, so there we go. There's some random bits of track. So we should have, theoretically, we'll get them all cleaned up. Let's do that bit first. These have been cleaned up. Those have been not cleaned up yet. Get these bits cleaned up. La, la, la. Control right, Control X, right tracks, highlight left side, Control V, MS Word inserts a picture of the document crashes. Yeah. That's so confusing. Why haven't they fixed that? And the shops have like a fixed A4 with that part of the build. Yeah, you'd think they could just switch it around and just from that point onwards print the corrected version, but yes. I don't know. I remember the first time I did it, it really confused me and I had to go and look online. That's where I saw people saying, yeah, these aren't the right way around. And it was my bad that I thought it was one piece and not the whole track unit. If I'd remembered it was the whole track unit, I wouldn't have had all that stongling around there. But never mind. I am starving. No idea what I'm going to have for dinner. Hello to anyone who has joined us since I last said hello to everyone. Oops, dropping. Roger, scraping now. I've been trying to figure out today where to put my Dodge Charger. I'm not 100% convinced I've got a shelf that can cope with 8 kilograms. I've got a shelf that I don't think can cope with 8 kilograms, and it's a bookshelf, so I can put books underneath it right in the middle to stop it bearing down in the middle. And I'll have to hope and pray. But yeah, I've not quite figured that out yet. Somebody suggested I sell it for a vast amount of money. It's like, well, I could do that, but I don't want to ship an 8 kilogram box. It's a nightmare. That'd involve crating, and that's far too expensive. If eModels have ever considered doing part work, you know, like you can go to your newsagent. I'll have to suggest it to Pete, mate. You can go to your newsagent and subscribe to a part work, and they'll make sure the parts are delivered to you every week, every month. If eModels have ever thought of doing that, I don't know. So you go to them and say, hi, I'd like to subscribe to this, you know, have it on their store, you subscribe to it, and then they just ship it to you. I thought of that. It's not a bad idea, actually. It's probably a downside to it, but it's not a bad idea. I guess they'd have to, I don't know how they'd do it. They could list it on the store. You have a button that says subscribe now, and then all they do is they go and subscribe to this part work company for you. Like your post office would, or your newsagent. You get part work. I might suggest that to James Mate and see what he thinks. Unless you're watching James Mate, in which case, you know, let me know what you think. Just suddenly thought of that now in my brain of thinking. But not a bad idea. I don't know how they make any money on it. That's probably why it's a bad idea. Yeah, there's the whole, how do we make profit on that? Okay, yeah, there is that. Right, so let's see now. Let's see if this will go hitchlessly or with all the hitches. So we've got this piece down here. You see, like there, you'll see. And then we have, right, so I'm going to have to go 2ers and 1ers, aren't I? So it was a 2er and a 1er. A 2er and a 1er. I don't want to. So it's a 2er here, which needs to match there. That's that one. I'm matching the tooth here and the teeth on the side. That locks in there. And then a 1er. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to glue this bit in anyway, so let's just glue it in, folks. Let's just not fart about. Farting about, not recommended. The thing is, doing this, slapping all this glue on really carelessly, it makes me look like such a crap builder. Because I'm just slapping glue everywhere. But I know, because it's Death Guard, I can do that. It adds to the jank of Death Guard vehicles. Trust me, if this was not a Death Guard tank, I'd be a lot more careful with the glue than I am with this. The Baneblade, I wouldn't be slapping this glue everywhere carelessly. Right, so that's that one. So we have the 2er and then a 1er. When I'm saying 2er and 1er, it's the number of links and also where that little notch is on the, I'm not on camera, notch is there on the, that's the bit that goes into the side. So I need a 1er and I need the notch to be there, and it has to have a sticky out tooth there, which that would fit perfectly, and then that will go on top of that. Theoretically, that would sit there like that. Oops. After falling off, of course. Of course. That works. That's the back end. Got my back end ready, you were. And then on the front, it is 2, 1, 2. So it should be... see, that's got the socket there, so I can't do that one because the socket's on the wrong side if I match that. So it can't be that one. It's got to be that one with the key and the lock and the thing there. 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. So once you realise that it's the wrong way around, you can easily figure out which piece goes where by the location of that bit and the notch. I don't know. So we'll get these bits on. Get your bits on. I don't know what that was. I'll never do that again. That's probably the best that I don't ever do that again. The other one. There we go. That's that one. Once you figure it out, it's easy as pie. It's just once you have to figure it out first. That's the tricky bit. Probably not on camera for most of this. I've got the camera in just the wrong place to be doing fiddly, stressful stuff. That sits there, and then the tour goes on top of that. That's a lot of glue, but don't care. It's all mess. All goodly goodness. That's that bit there. Get that splodge of glue up. A bit of glue in the joint. Around the front wheel. There we go. So there'll be lots of mud and corrosion on these tracks. So the good thing with the glue making little scrubbly, scratchy, blobby bits on the track is that just adds to the sort of rusty texture of the track anyway. Where you'd normally put like typhus corrosion or something to give it a kind of corroded look. And the back is 2, 1, and then the big one. So the back is a tour. My belly's making all the noises in the world. It's quite impressive. I can't deny. Now it's making gurgling noises. Ugh. Ugh. I've just remembered, for no reason at all, a completely random factoid, which is utterly random. That's not fitting very well. Don't make me nervous. It won't like me if I'm nervous. A completely random factoid that if you ever, for whatever bizarre reason, at some point decide to watch... That's the wrong way around. Have I goofed here? I may have goofed. Hang on. Eine Momente bitte. And that piece is for the... I'm doing it off camera. I do apologise. That bit's for... yeah, I've got that wrong. I did the front bit wrong. Did it wrong, Mum. 2, 1, 2, wasn't it? 2, 1, just there. I've got to correct my error on the front. 2. And a 1, a 2, that one, not that one, 2, 1, and what's that one? Is it that one? Which one is it? I don't know where I'm going with this one. Right, well, the back was 2 and 1, so the back needs to be 2, which is that one. There we go, that's better. Right, so 2, 1, 1. I don't know. You can't get the staff, can you? There we go, that's better. Yeah, that back piece just wasn't fitting quite right, and it was because I had the wrong 2 piece in there, but the one on the front was fitting perfectly, so that's that, that's that. A little bit of this and that. We've got the 2 on the back there. We're in. All this random gluing looks so unprofessional. 2 and then 1 and then 2. So that one goes there. Makes me look like a hack, darling, like an absolute hack. Trust me. It'll all come good when it's built and painted and everything else. Of course, this one is the top piece, which goes on there like that, you see. Lovely. There we go. So that is now the track's done. Oi. Tracks are done. One seems to not want to fit very well, but it does. It will. It has. I make it. Force it to fit. There's no choice. Simply. So that is the tracks done. Push that one back a little bit. Little squishy noises as I move the plastic parts around. That is the tracks done. You don't do this top bit because there's a piece of armour that goes over that. And so if you do build this, just remember that the entire track units are the wrong way around and that you'll have the tread facing the wrong way, which is really weird. Where's the finished pictures? Because there's the back. The only way those would have fitted on there is with the tracks this way around. So you have the pointy bit at the bottom, flat bit at the top. But if you look at the photos, studio photos, pointy bit at the top, flat bit at the bottom. So how they built that without flarping about and just cutting all the tabs off the tracks, I don't know how they did that. That seems unlikely to me that they didn't do that. So I think they probably went, oh, we screwed it up, quick, just cut all the tabs off and glue it in, there you go, done. But yes, it looks fine. Like I said, we've got glue everywhere, but it's chaos, it's Nurgle, and it's going to look fine once it's got the lettering on it. Let's have a quick look at chat. Edward says, thanks to the stream, Fox. Got to split and go to the grocery store. Night, everyone, and hugs. Thank you, Edward, for coming in. Big hugs to you. Where are we? Evening all in chat says, Athol having problems with internet. Oh, dear. At least you got into for a bit. I'm saying hi to Athol. You've been on the kebab pot noodle again, Fox. Rumbles in the belly. So, no, I haven't been on anything. That's the thing. I'm starving. I haven't had my dinner yet. Right, so there we go. So that is the tracks bumbled through like an absolute amateur. I don't know. But like I say, once it's weathered and rusted, you'll never. I love all this detail here that once you put all the armour on, you'll never see that again. You see a bit of it, but it's lovely to paint. I think it's fairly modular if I remember rightly, so you can put the armour on, but not glue it, and then take it all apart and paint it separately and put it all back together again. So we haven't finished it. But assuming that me and Colin, or Colin and I should say, are back next Wednesday, hopefully, back to normal with the Bane Blades, I'll put this to one, I'll just get it finished and built and crack on with it. This is a personal build anyway. So hopefully all being well, Colin and I will be back on Wednesday with the Bane Blades. If not, I'll carry on with this. Well, big hugs to Colin. He's just resting up. He's fine. He's just taking a couple of weeks vacation, if as it were, without going anywhere. He's having a staycation. He's just chilling out. Sometimes we need to recharge our batteries. But that's going to do us. So thank you everyone very much for watching. It wasn't very exciting. It was completely rubbish because I just made a complete bum tube of the whole thing. But never mind. It's not my fault. The instructions were wrong. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. That's going to do us. So, don't forget, of course, this show brought to you by eModels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Every single need that you have, they can cater to it. So make sure you put all your orders in. They like to give you goods and services in exchange for cold hard cash. So go and check it out on the website, eModels.co.uk. And we shall see you soon. Don't forget, of course, eModels are now... involved with Ultimate Modelling products, as you can see by my convenient desk stickers. Ultimate Modelling products are now associated with eModels, or rather, Ultimate is brought to you by eModels.co.uk. So make sure to go check out the entire range of Ultimate stuff on the website, and of course, all the Games Workshop stuff, and all the other stuff, and the 1/16 scale tanks that have got me quite interested. Me doing a 1/16 scale tank, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do me, though. So thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you back possibly on Friday on Colin's channel for the Friday Frolic. Don't know yet. Should do. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, all being well. But until then, I shall say take care. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until next time, he says, trying to stretch this out so I can lean over and get my mouse ready. Until next time, I shall say, adios, amoebas. Bye. Gonna go and have a coffee now. Oh.